Hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss another very important journal of IEEE, which is Proceedings of the IEEE. So, before proceeding into the detail of this particular journal, whose name is the Proceedings of the IEEE, I am going to share a fun fact with this. That most of the people means I also used to think that it is a kind of conference proceeding, but it is not. Okay, because proceeding word is usually get associated with some conference proceeding or sort of thing. So mostly we hear that conferences proceedings are do get published in hard copy or soft copy or electronic copy form. So point is that proceedings of the IEEE is not a conference. It's a journal. Here you can see that it is listed under the journal and magazine category. Okay. And it is not only a simple journal, it is a very powerful journal. How I'm claiming so? So here you can see that this picture shows and makes it clear that proceedings of the IEEE is celebrating the 110 years. So let's move on to the all issues and see here. So here you can see that since 20 here 1960s. So it got started in 1963 and now it is running today. Okay, so point is that as we usually consider that if a journal is running since long, then it will be powerful. But if it is running so long, since so long, then obviously it is obviously there is something that has been making it so much more powerful. So coming to the basic metrics of this particular journal, here you can see that impact factor is very good of than 100. Eigen factor, article influence score, site score, quite impeccable. Okay, now coming to the basic detailing. So here the popular early access, current issue, all issues about the journals, all these things are available. Additionally, the submitting manuscript, adding the title to the alert list and adding to the favorite list and the RSS feed. All links are provided down here. Okay, coming to some basic detailings, move on to the about journal. So here you can see the aim and scope. So the journal is leading to provide the in-depth review, survey, and tutorial coverage of the technical developments in electronic, electrical, and computer engineering and computer science. So most of the survey review and kind of tutorial coverage, like IEEE Computing Survey and Tutorial is one of the most famous survey journal of IEEE. So similar way, IEEE proceedings of the IEEE is moving on to that way only. Now the proceedings publishes approximately 10 special issues and 2 regular paper issues per year. Okay, so you can see that the major reason of the success behind this particular journal might also be the dedicated number of special issues that it publishes every year. So because the special issues usually get more attention because people do see that it's a special issue, means there should be some highlighted or some specific research content into it. So in this way, now special issues are led by the distinguished guest editors and certain and contain the articles is related to the survey review and tutorials from different experts and belonging to different technological areas. Okay, and they discuss the current state of the art and highly valued research concepts, and these things are supposed to get managed by a particular community that is known in the research communities consisting of different specialists. Okay, now the regular issues consists of 3 to 4 papers on more focused topics. So here you can see that how specifically they are choosing the papers for the regular issues. So it is not like this, that you are going to go and submit a paper and get accepted. It is going to get very tough to have a paper accepted in the proceedings of the IEEE. Okay, so in this way you can see that the paper published in the proceedings are usually survey review or tutorials, and in this way you need to focus on the different focuses. Okay, like in review articles means they critically should means your work should critically examine the technology tracing its progress from its inception to present. And if you are having the survey, then comprehensively view your technology means its application, issues, ramification, and the potential should get covered. And if you are planning a tutorial paper, then it should discuss the kind of practical implementations and the kind of information. Okay, so in this way, whenever you are planning a particular work, always look into the guidelines, always go through the aim and the scope, the guidelines. If you move on to the elsewhere, then they also provide the writing guidelines and the writing tools. So if you go through, means don't use the tools if you don't have the money or the sort of, if you don't want to spend time with all those sort of tools. But my point is that always get into the details, see how the tools are working, what they are providing, what sort of things they are suggesting to you. So in this way you can improve your research work. Okay, now coming to the editor details. So editor in chief is the Gianluca Setti, and he is a professor, or I don't know whether he is professor, or in some way he is associated to the Politecnico del Torneo Corso Duca del Gin. So it is written something in Italian, I don't know, but it's a Italian institute. Okay, so in this way you can see, and the things, the publication related details are provided here. So you can see the editorial board. Yeah, editorial board information is provided here. So we can see the editorial board. Editor-in-chief we have already seen. The other editorial members must have been present here. And here you can see that from some of the top universities, some of the eminent researchers are listed down here. Okay, so you can go and have a look. Additionally, if you want to have the information about the journal webinars or to have the access of the resources, you can have the respected links. Then moving back and coming to the main thing, that is the current focus. Okay, so if we talk about the current focus, means what sort of articles you should write or what sort of key domains or key terms you should focus on. So you should see the early access and the current access, current issue articles. So we are moving into the early access. Early access will provide you the recently accepted articles which are supposed to get published in the coming versions. Okay, so here you can see that the assisted security and privacy survey, then a common analysis security framework based on the signal processing using the dictionary items and deep learning, then electric grid hidden capacity based concepts and their unlocking. So these sort of concepts that they have discussed, robots, more electric aircrafts and beyond. So means any particular technology and their related survey tutorials and sort of things, as we have already discussed, the three main categories. So you can design. And obviously, your research should be very much focused. It should explore the new advancements and the kind of contribution. Means in total, if we say, it doesn't matter whether it's a practical work or theoretical work, your work should have some sort of contribution towards the science and technology in that particular direction where the journal or the magazine is focusing. Okay, then there is a higher probability. Writing style and the things means you have not added a particular paragraph on analysis, you have not put the related work more, you have not categorized, you have not put the tables, you have not made more figures. All these sort of things are means kind of not the things to reject a particular paper. These are not the major criteria. These are things are considered under the major revision or minor revision. So, but if your paper is straightforwardly getting denied from particular journal, means you are totally out of scope of that particular journal. So whenever going for a particular journal, always read the aim and the scope, and then only you will get to know whether you are in the right direction or not. Now, the other way also is comfortable, means it is not always like this that you first see the journal aim and scope and then start to write a work. You start your research work and then do your research. When you are up with the results or the kind of coverage, whichever you are planning, okay, then you see a particular journal of your fit. It is not always the thing that you first fix the journal and then write your means do your research. Do your research first, and every research domain has some good papers, some means some good journals or the publishing venues, and then you can have a suitable journal finding. Okay, so in this way we have seen that the impact factor is very good, but before impact factor you should consider the SCI indexing, means the indexing of the journal, and the SCI the Q1 ranking, means the SCI Mago based listing. So we are going to see now the SCI list. So here, before moving on to the SCI list, let's copy it, because we are going to search the name of the journal. Then we are moving on to the Clarivate site. It is the master journal site, and here we are going to search the name of the journal. You are going to see its indexing. Here you can see that it is listed under the Science Citation Index Expanded collection. Okay, so the data, this particular journal is SCIE, means the extended form of SCI. And now the second thing is we should check the Q ranking. So here is the percentage of the IEEE, and you can see that the H index is quite impeccable, means close to 300. Above than 100, I consider very good, but it is close to 300. So you can imagine it's a USA journal offering the two major tracks, computer science and engineering, having a focus on computer science miscellaneous and the electrical and electronic engineering. Coming down here, you can see it's a journal. ISSN numbers are provided. The coverage is 1927 and the 1963 onwards continuously till date. Okay. Then some of the links are provided. Aim and scope we have already seen, so I think we should not delve much into this, and we should directly go down. And here you can see that from 1999, due to space limitation, means the vertical space limitation they have given like this perhaps, or due to their formatting issues whatsoever. So 1999 to till date means not till date, up to 2020 they have given. Okay, and it's all given throughout. So in this way means when the impact factor is very good, generally they say, and it's all given, then it's difficult to get published. So you should need to be very careful by writing. Okay. Additionally, some of the alternative journals are ETRI journal, then the Frontiers of Information Technology and Electronic Engineering, then Nanjing UDN detects Jobao. I don't know means how good this particular journal, I have never heard of. Then Digital Communications and Network. Okay. So see the reputation of the publisher as well as the journal both, and then decide your journal. Then it is the SGR ranking, and you can see that it's better, means almost at the top of all the times. It's a very good indication. Then the total number of documents are on decline. It might be due to because when the journal is very reputed, the acceptance rate is very low. Okay, it is not like this that people are not publishing. It is like, it might also be like this that people are not getting accepted. So you can see in 2020 only 128 papers were accepted. Okay, total number of documents. Then here you can see that citation per document in the last 2 years is the least in comparison to the last 3 years and 4 years, which is a bit concern because it should have been more. But again, the visibility is not good, means perhaps because more number of citations are not coming, but it is again depending on the total number of works. So you can see if less number of works, so less number of citations might be the reason. Additionally, it might also be because here you can see earlier in last years means the number of accepted documents were more. So as the number of documents will go on decline, the number of citations will also go on decline. Additionally, when you see the per document citations, so it might also be the reason that the journal is focusing on the very specific or very new or very deep down topics. So in this way, very few researchers work in very specific domains or the topics. So the citation game is totally a different game. Okay. Now the total citations and the self-citation gap is very impressive. And here in 2020, it has been bit down in comparison to 2019. But still, you can see that both these lines, the external citation and the total citation lines graphs are mapping onto each other. So it's a very good indication. Means almost no fake citation, means no self-citation sort of thing. Fake citation and self-citation are two different things. Fake citation means unnecessarily you have cited your work, but self-citation means you have cited, might be a fake citation, or because you are the only author in that particular domain, or you are having very related work of yours, then only you have cited. But still, whatever is the reason, self-citations are seen from always means they are not considered good at all. So that's why whenever possible, try to minimize the self-citations. Okay. Then moving on to the international collaboration, it's a very impressive thing that I have seen so many journals, but in most of the, even in top IEEE journals, the international collaboration has been consistently down or at least down in 2020. But in this, you can see it's all-time high. So how you, this in this way, you can see that top people are means from different countries are having a kind of collaboration. Still the papers which are getting published are less. You can see the total number of papers are going on down, but the international collaboration is going up. Okay, means the focus is on quality. Okay, not the quantity. Additionally, you can see that the uncitable documents are almost nil in 2020. So journal is moving in the right direction. Uncited documents might be there because again, because if you are focusing on to a very specific field, limited number of people work in specific domains. So that's why some of the documents remain uncited, not a bad thing. Then moving on to the in general Q1 ranking. So here you can Q ranking. So here you can see the subject shows that overall it's a Q1 journal having a SGR score 2020 of 2.38. So I will highly recommend this journal if you want to get published with IEEE. Additionally, if you want to get accepted into this particular field, then you should focus that what sort of things you should means have in target. Means additional, it means in advance, if you think that I'm going to have work or the research focus in this particular field or in this particular domain, then I think it will be easy for you. Because when we say that we are going to work in a particular field, then we in advance have a mindset that we are going to follow these authors, we are going to go with these particular publishers, and these are the candidate journals. In this way it becomes very easy. So first I think whether you are means having a track of your related authors or not. If you are having a track, then always you'll find that what are the alternative choices. So for example, the authors who publish with the proceedings of the IEEE, they also go for publishing with proceedings of SPI, the International Society for Optical Engineering. They also go for publishing in Applied Physics Letter, Applied Physics Review, Electronics Letters, then Japanese Journal of Applied Sciences, Applied Optics, and Physical Reviews, etc. Okay. Additionally, if you don't want to go with IEEE, or you couldn't succeed with IEEE, then you may switch to other publisher also. So the other popular choices, obviously the elsewhere, the YLA, IOP Publishing, American Physical Society, SPIE, the Optical Society, American Geophysical Union, etc. Okay. So in this way, you can decide that what sort of things you need to focus on. Surprisingly, means in last few years, the rate of returning authors have been low, and again, as they are accepting very less number of papers, so it might be the reason. But still, it's a good indicator that fresh authors are coming to the picture and they are able to publish. Okay, because many times kind of not, I should not use the term monopoly, but it becomes a kind of domination that only the old authors or the returning authors rate is more than the fresh authors. So that is a bit concern. But if I see as per the data available at my side, then it's good to have the kind of site that fresh authors are coming into picture. Now coming to the most cited topics, means which are the things which are the most debated topics or the research areas with respect to this particular field. So wireless networks, Fourier analysis, then artificial neural network, material science, photonics, information theory, etc. are some of the most cited or the most discussed research areas. Some of the most related keywords, if we say, then self-organizing maps, Petri nets, harmonic analysis, discrete Fourier transforms, hidden Markov model, tutorials, signal processing, etc. are some of the most related keywords. Additionally, a impeccable thing that I talk about this means more than 200 plus countries authors have been publishing their work with this particular journal. So you can see that how powerful this particular journal is. Okay, because the diverse presence of a particular journal means how many different countries authors know about a particular journal and they have been publishing with that particular journal. That is a very powerful indicator to know that how deep, how old, and how vast coverage a particular journal provides. But again, don't no need to worry, like physical communication, there is also a journal. It is dedicatedly dealing with physical layer communication things and nothing else. And obviously, like if we talk about the proceedings of the IEEE, then it is accepting more review and tutorial kind of things. So that's why the citation and all those things go on high, and that's why the impact factor becomes very good. Additionally, it is very good. But if you talk about the new journals and working on to a specific direction, then obviously their impact factor will not be as good as these. So you need to only take care of SCI, Q ranking, and then you should see the impact factor. Impact factor more than 2 is good enough. Okay, 2 or 3 is good enough. Then coming to the content, I think in computer science, you may focus on the computer networks. You may also focus on the very large scale integration, means the VLSI. Then you can focus on to the computational social science, history of computer science, then the information theory, wireless networks, parallel computing, parallel algorithms, logic and computing, and the logic programming. These are the sort of things that you can focus on with respect to this particular journal. In engineering, if we talk about, then obviously electrical engineering is a major focus, then telecommunication engineering, electronic engineering, control theory, and the system sciences. These are the things. with respect to physics also, you can have a focus on the electromagnetism, you can have a focus on the acoustics, you can have focus on the condensed matter physics, etc. Okay, so I think you have got a basic idea, you have got the very basic understanding in crystal clear form that what are the aims and scope of this particular journal, should you go for this particular journal or not, if you want to go for this particular journal, what are the things you need to take care of, and all these sort of things. So thanks for watching this video. If you didn't like anything, please let me know and do comment below. And I would love to receive your criticism to improve my future videos. Thanks for watching again. Happy learning.